The strongest trainer in Poketopia, the one who stands above the Coliseum Masters, is now entering.
What's up, everybody? That is me. I am Destroyer, your coach of the Emerald City Extreme Speed. And if you haven't already picked up on it, we have a very special draft that I'm excited to introduce you to today. We're traveling back to 2007 to play a Gen 4 Pokémon Battle Revolution draft. Gen 4 was actually my first generation getting into competitive Pokemon battling, and so this is an especially nostalgic draft for me. The league we're playing in is IDL. We've actually won IDL in Season 2, and excited to be back playing with them again. This draft is a small 10-team draft with some excellent competition and content creators, so please make sure to check them out. The video description will have links to everyone's pages. As it turns out, there's a ton of differences between Gen 4 and the current game. Different abilities, different mechanics. Fairy type didn't yet exist. I won't bore you guys with all the details right now. We'll talk more about those as we meet the team and throughout the season. So let's get into the picks. We had the third overall pick, and with it, we got Metagross. Metagross has always been strong, but in Gen 4, it's even more so. With its pseudo-legendary stats and a vast move pool, it has something great to offer every week. In Gen 4, steel types were much stronger than they were today, I guess, because they resisted ghost and dark moves. In Metagross's case, that means he's not weak to dark and ghost like he usually is from that psychic type. Those become neutralities with the steel typing on there. Metagross can perform a variety of roles, including a dedicated league with rocks and explosion, a bulky attacker, or even a cleanup sweeper with agility. With speedsters being even more limited than normal, in round 2 we took one of the best ones. That is Weavile. Weavile's dark and ice stabs are a powerful combination, which are intensely threatening to most Pokemon. At base 125 speed, there's only a handful of things that are faster than it. So this thing is basically just functioning to be our speed control as well as a cleanup sweeper in some situations. In round 3, I was excited to get a top tier fairy with its next pick. Until Black Commander reminded me that there's no fairy types yet in this generation. I picked this mon anyways because it's still a great mon. We went with Togekiss. This is one that I remember playing with a lot back in OU back in the day. It's actually a normal and flying type rather than a fairy and flying type in this generation. It's got a very vast move pool, it's got great bulk, it's got Serene Grace and Air Slash, which makes this thing a super annoying Pokemon. We get Thunder Wave as well. Electric types are not immune to Thunder Wave in this game, which means that our Serene Grace Parahack strategy is very viable. In round 4, we took Quillfish. We won IDL with Quillfish in Season 2 in low tier. Maybe this was still a little bit early to pick Quillfish. But hear me out. In Gen 4, hazards are an immense threat. There are very limited rapid spinners. Defog does not remove hazards, and there are no heavy-duty boots. There are also very few viable spikers, and Quillfish was the best one that was left at this point. This also helps us to secure a grounded poison as well as a decently bulky water type. Although its bulk isn't quite as strong as usual because there's no Intimidate yet in this generation, or it's a hidden ability. In round 5, with hazards being potentially OP in this format, we took Mismagius. I can't pronounce these. Thank you, announcer. Mismagius gives us one of the better ghosts in the format, giving us an option to spin block and keep our spikes in the ground. Additionally, its base 105 speed is quite good in this format. Faster than most things, so this gives us a good, fast, speedy special attacker. Got a really nice move pool, including coverage, setup options, status options, and of course, a good variety of tricks that we often expect from ghost types. In round 6, we added more speed and special offense by picking up Alakazam. At base 120 speed, this thing has a vast move pool and is a really powerful sweeping option. One of the best sweepers in this meta, probably the fastest and best special attacker sweeper. I guess there are some special attackers that are faster than it, stuff like Jolteon, but this is one of the best. Great coverage. Simply put, Alakazam is a speedy option for speed control and again for sweeping, paired with Weavile and Mismagius. We've really got a nice trio of speedy offensive attackers. As the draft went on, I started to realize that bulky waters might be a little bit of a struggle for me if I didn't do something about it, and so I got the best answer that was still available, and that was Breloom.
Breloom.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Announcer. I'm notoriously bad at mispronouncing names. Glad to have him here to help us out. Breloom is forgettable in the current generations, but in Gen 4 he was a top OU threat. It got Poison Heal before Gliscor did. It also has almost exclusive access to Spore. In Gen 4, grass types are not immune to Spore and Powder Boost, and Sleep can last for up to 5 turns. Even without all that, it gives us a strong breaker for bulky waters, which is what we wanted here, as well as a great fighting type attacker, which we did not have yet. In round 4, we enlist even more help for waters by securing Electivire. Electivire premiered in Gen 4 and was actually pretty strong in this generation. It has an excellent move pool with a variety of things. It's primarily a physical attacker, but can also be a special attacker. Its ability Motor Drive gives it a rare non-ground electric immunity, which we did not have yet. Another interesting Gen 4 mechanic is that electrics are not generally immune to Thunder Wave or Paralysis, and so Motor Drive makes Electivire, I think, one of 2 electric types, the other being, I can't remember the name of the fish. The electric fish. This is one of the only electrics that's actually immune to Thunder Wave and being paralyzed that way. In round 9, I took one of the best available mons left, and that was Slowbro. Guys, I just love the Slowbro model in this game. That vacant look in his eyes. He's got no empathy for the teams that he's going to crush. This is one of the strongest bulky waters in this format. We do have Quillfish, yes, but Quillfish does not have the same longevity as Slowbro does. Slowbro is bulkier and has recovery moves like Slack Off. It provides a lot of good offensive as well as defensive functions and has a good variety of tricky and status moves as well. I'm also a fan of having double water in drafts, and I've had several teams that have won titles with double waters. So, did I say double water? Because this time we're actually going triple water, as in round 10 I take Cloyster. Honestly, the typing here is not what I was looking for. I was the last team out of the 10 to take a Rapid Spinner. There are very few Rapid Spinners in this format, as I discussed before. So this was the best one that we had left. Cloyster is actually a pretty cool mod in this generation, being a spinner, but also being a hazard setter of both spikes and toxic spikes. So this combined with Quillfish, we have 2 of the better spikers actually in this generation here, whereas a lot of teams don't have any spikers at all. And so Cloyster will really be our hazard clearer and setter if we're bringing it to most games. In round 11, we finally got our ground type. We got Gligar. Again, this is something that maybe we waited a little bit too long on. We had sort of limited options, but this was a really nice budget pick at 4 points. Gligar does not get Eviolite in this generation, but it does get things like Roost. It also gets U-Turn, making it kind of a nice pivot with a couple of different immunities. There's no Volt Switch and no Flip Turn in this generation, so momentum is a lot harder than we are used to having it being in current generation. So this will help us with being a defensive pivot with those immunities there, as well as having U-Turn. Round 12, last but not least, we spend our final point and final pick on Tropius, I guess it is. I always called it Tropius. Anyway, for 1 point, this was one of only a handful of fully evolved mons at that price point. This gives us a defensive grass option to complement our offensive grass option of Breloom. This will primarily be used in niche defensive situations and probably won't come frequently. Despite that, Tropius grows delicious bananas on its neck, which will help support the morale and hunger of its teammates in the locker room. So that's the team, everyone. I'm excited to step back into the time machine and have fun with something a little bit different than usual. I hope that you guys will come along for the ride. See you guys next week. Cheers.